Right now, a manhunt is underway in Chicago for the suspect who shot at Border Patrol agents in broad daylight yesterday. It happened while officers were conducting immigration enforcement operations. Anti-ICE protesters also throwing a paint can and bricks at Border Patrol's vehicles during the chaos you're seeing on your screen now. Former federal prosecutor and former acting ICE director Jonathan Fahey joining us now. And Jonathan, this is really an unbelievable scene, perhaps not surprising because of the anti-ICE rhetoric we keep hearing from the leaders in that state, from Mayor Johnson to Governor Pritzker. But yet the fact that now this suspect is at large that fired shots, it's very concerning.
Yeah, this is very concerning, and you're right when you're talking about the rhetoric. This is so outrageous because how bad do things have to be before the leaders in the Democratic Party, particularly people like J.B. Pritzker, can step up and be adults and tell people to calm down and let ICE do their job, because ICE is the one that is doing what they're required to do. These politicians are at least encouraging or tacitly encouraging violence because that's in their political interest. It's so shameful. And I am, very worried that we're going to have something horrible happen that could be preventable. But, yeah, they need to catch this person, lock them up, throw away the keys, because this cannot happen any longer.
Hey, Jonathan, what really stood out, unbelievable to me, was that while we know that the threats against ICE and Border Patrol are at a 8,000% increased risk, you had city aldermen out there in that chaos, live streaming it to social media, saying that this is unconstitutional. But yet, at the end of the day, and I rode along in Chicago on Operation Midway Blitz on the first couple of days, they were taking convicted child rapists, murderers, and criminal illegal aliens off the streets. But yet, they're out there saying that this should not happen.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They're always maligning ICE agents for their political benefit. It's really, they're basically political cheap shot artists, because that's what they need to do to advance themselves politically as opposed ICE. But these ICE agents are doing the work that is making all of us safer. You had in Houston earlier this week, an ICE agent was severely injured arresting a sexual offender, sex predator. So they are really doing so many things to make us safer. And these politicians, they're not only getting in the way of them doing that, they're making their jobs more dangerous. And I have to go back, you have people like J.B. Pritzker, Gavin Newsom, they are using this to elevate themselves politically. And it's so sad, as Kevin McCarthy was talking about, they need to put people ahead of politics, but they put politics first and forefront, and it's so shameful. And you have people like J.B. Pritzker that he knows if you evaluate his record as governor of Illinois, he's never going to be nominated to anything. No. So he has to resort to these tactics.
And Jonathan, the Chicago Police Department says, fortunately, no one was shot, but yet we have the suspect in the vehicle that fired the shot still at large. Lastly, I ask you, would you not expect that Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson should hold a press conference condemning that shots were fired at the agents and demanding that the suspect be brought to justice?
You would hope so. You would hope this would be a great opportunity to be an adult, to stand there and say, hey, you can protest all you want, but violence is something we don't tolerate in Chicago. But we don't expect him to do so, and it's so shameful. You think of the violence, you think of the 8,000% increase, you think of gang member bounties on them, and the Democrats are on the side of gang members, drug cartels. It's totally shameful.
Unbelievable. Former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey, thank you for taking time this morning.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.